Highguard, the ambitious free-to-play PvP raid shooter from Wildlight Entertainment, is officially shutting down March 12, 2026, ending its life less than 2 months after launch. This announcement stunned players who had only just begun exploring its world, but behind the scenes, the writing had been on the wall for weeks. Highguard was first revealed as the final announcement of the Games Award 2025. Positioned as a major new IP from ex-Apex and Titanfall developers, the reveal generated immediate buzz, but also skepticism, as many felt the trailer didn't justify its show-closing placement. The skepticism will later become a recurring theme. The game officially launched on January 26, 2026, hitting PCs and consoles simultaneously. Wildlight marketed as a fast-paced raid shooter, blending fantasy and sci-fi, with unique wardens, large-scale encounters, and a focus on coordinated play. Despite mixed expectations, the launch brought in a massive wave of curious players. In its first month, Highguard attracted over 2 million players, a number most new inline service titles will celebrate. But the problem wasn't the initial surge, it was what happened next. Player retention cratered almost immediately, with daily active users dropping sharply as the early adopters failed to stick around. Wildlight later confirmed that despite a large launch audience, they were not able to build a sustainable player base to support the game long term. This wasn't a matter of visibility, it was a matter of players trying the game, bouncing off, and not returning. For a live service title, this is a fatal wound. Players did praise Highguard's art direction, wardens, and combat feel, noting that the game had a strong foundation and clear potential. Many compared its movement and gunplay favorably to Apex Legends, which made sense given the team's pedigree, but good mechanics weren't enough to keep players invested. The most common complaints centered around shallow progression, limited content, and repetitive objectives, and unclear long-term goals. Many players felt the game launched too early, with systems that seemed half-finished and a meta that lacked depth. The result was a game that felt fun for a weekend, but not for a season. Behind the scenes, Highguard suffered a major financial hit when Tencent pulled funding, removing a key pillar of long-term support. Without that backing, Wildlight's ability to sustain development, updates, and server costs became severely limited. This was one of the biggest turning points in the game's downfall. Reports confirmed that Wildlight laid off a significant portion of its staff during Highguard's decline. With fewer developers and shrinking resources, the studio struggled to deliver updates fast enough to stabilize the player base. Live service games live or die by rapid iteration, and Highguard simply couldn't keep up. Before shutting down, Wildlight announced one final update featuring a new warden, a new weapon, account progression, and skill trees. Content that many players felt should have been in the game at launch. It was a bittersweet moment, a glimpse of what Highguard could have become. The community response was a mix of disappointment and resignation. Many players expressed sadness that the game never had time to grow, while others argued that the launch date made this outcome inevitable. Content creators echoed this sentiment. Highguard had potential, but potential isn't enough in 2026's brutal live service landscape. Highguard's shutdown is part of a larger trend. Live service games are failing faster than ever. With players spread thin across dozens of titles, only the strongest survive. Highguard entered the market with promise, but without depth, funding, or time needed to compete with giants like Destiny, Apex, and Warframe. On March 3rd, Wildlight posted the official shutdown notice on X, confirming that servers would remain online until March 12, 2026. They thanked the community for their support and acknowledged the team's hard work, but made it clear the game simply wasn't sustainable. As the shutdown date approaches, players are encouraged to jump in for one last run. The final update is live and servers are still active, and the community is sharing clips, screenshots, and memories before the world of Highguard disappears forever. For many, it's a chance to say goodbye to a game that never got the time it needed. Highguard will be remembered as a game with incredible potential, strong talent behind it, and a passionate community, but also as a cautionary tale about launching too early, relying on unstable funding, and entering a hyper-competitive market without enough content to survive. Its life was short, but its story will be studied by developers for years to come.